I thought I'd do a review. I know they've been out for ages. Citreon Nemos. I've got a 10-year-old one. I've had it for a little while now. Things to, you're going to buy one, things to watch out for. If it's the vehicle with the engine with the timing chain, needs to start it up, listen for a little bit of a rattle as you're looking at the bonnet up, looking at the engine on the left-hand side. So it's sort of towards the engine mount, and if there is a slight rattle, that could possibly mean that the timing chain is getting loose and may need replacing. Now the part itself, like a semi decent-ish pattern part, is about £200 for the kit. That's like the timing chain, the sprockets, tensioner. I think it also comes with the oil. Yeah, the oil. It's like an oil-fed tensioner. But it's probably upward of £500 plus to have it replaced. It's quite a long, definitely involved job. Yeah, definitely. So that would be one thing to factor in for sure. Another thing to look out for is start the engine, go around the back by the exhaust, and if you notice it's quite diesely smell, that could be an indication that the injectors are probably dripping rather than spraying, and it gives off quite real diesely smell. The fuel consumption can be a little bit high. To have that, I mean, you can get the injectors pulled out and have them cleaned, which is quite cheap if you can get the injectors out, but I think replacement like new injectors, I think they're around about £1,000 for a set. So that's another sort of major thing to look out for. But I mean, other than that, they're quite the one that I've got anyway. It's quite a good van. It's really good for sort of parking tight spaces. I like it that way. I can get all my stuff in, which is pretty good. That's the only really sort of two issues that I've dealt with the timing chain. I've got to deal with the injectors, but other things that look out for. Sometimes you get wear and tear on depending on the mileage on the gear stick. As you can see, it's sort of a bit floppy. Although it doesn't bother me, I've got used to it. I can get it in all the gears, no problems. Another thing that they seem to go through quite a lot, this one has, whether it be the same on other ones, that's where the mileage starts getting a bit high, front wheel bearings. So if you do road tests when you're looking to buy one, it sounds a bit like an aeroplane taking off. As you speed up and the noise just gets louder, it's like a woo 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 sound, and it changes tone when you turn left to right. That'd be an indication one of the wheel bearings is on its way out. But other than that, I think switches. They're a bit vulnerable to water. So if you've got the window open and you get a lot of water on there, and moisture gets in, it affects the circuit board for the window going up and down. So sometimes it'll go down, but then not up, or you have to press it about 10 times before it'll go up. So they're a little bit prone to that. But I think that's probably the only real issues that I've had with the one I've got. I mean, it's done over 100,000, so it's done a few miles. Because of that, at the minute, prices of second-hand vans or even vehicles in general are just through the roof at the moment. People are paying probably more than what they, going back a few years, due to there's, I think, lack of stock at the moment, even with new vehicles, backlog of getting sort of new vans or whatever. But other than that, it's quite a good van. But not had any other. Oh yeah, the alternator went, which is another thing. The part's quite expensive for what it is, because it's quite a tiny alternator. But it's a right faff changing it. You have to, on this model, this engine, it's a 1400 or 1395 or 97, something like that. You have to take the long drive shaft out with the intermediate bearing. So it's a lot of work to get the alternator out. You can replace the alternator fairly quickly once you've got, the drive shaft out of the way, and so that was a bit of a pain. But yeah, I haven't had any other issues really with it. It drives okay. It's quite a smooth van to drive. And so mine's it's a little bit high on the fuel because the injectors probably need cleaning or replacing. But other than that, it's pretty good. Lots of space, more space than you think. I know it's a really weird thing to say. It's a little bit like a TARDIS, this van. You can fit a lot in it. You think it surprises you actually. And say good for you if you're working customers' houses and you have to pop tight parking. They're ideal for that. Insurance is what it is. Tax is what it is. Any light goods vehicle, it seems to be quite high on the road fund license. But yeah, so it's quite a good van, really, for what it is. Can't really, I mean, the equivalent to this, Citreon Nemo's got to be the smallest van. I suppose the equivalent to something like this, a bit bigger, maybe would be a Caddy or a Connect or something along them sort of lines. But I think the Caddies, like for like, definitely go for more. I think the Connects are probably a little bit cheaper, like for like, same sort of year. There you go. So it's a bit of a review on a 10-year-old plus Citreon Nemo. Just a couple of things to look out for, like major, say the chain is a major, repair cost. So are the injectors. If you're looking into buying one second hand, hopefully this video has helped you out in some way. If it has, please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and please consider subscribing. Have a good day.